Imagine you are standing on the seashore. The night is quiet and dark, and only the soft whisper of the waves crashing against the rocks. Somewhere in the distance, in the endless darkness, a light trembles. At first it seems like a tiny spark, but with each passing moment it becomes brighter, more powerful, until it turns into a giant pillar of fire, dispelling the darkness for many kilometers around. This light is not just a flame. It is hope for sailors, life for merchants, and a mystery for descendants. This is the Lighthouse of Alexandria, one of the greatest wonders of the ancient world. Its height was astounding, over 100 meters. For comparison, it was like a 30-story building. In an era when most buildings were low and squat, the lighthouse towered over the ground like a giant stone guardian reaching for the sky. The Greeks and Romans who first saw it could not believe their eyes. They said that the lighthouse was a gift from the gods, that its construction could not be explained by human efforts alone. But the most mysterious thing in this story is something else. The lighthouse, which had stood for centuries and survived dozens of earthquakes, suddenly disappeared. Almost nothing remained, no foundation, no clear traces. Archaeologists are still arguing about where exactly it stood and what caused its destruction. Some blame the elements, others, wars. But there are also those who whisper about something else, about an ancient curse, about secret forces, about the fact that the lighthouse did not collapse, but was dragged into the depths of the sea by forces beyond our control. The history of the Lighthouse of Alexandria begins more than 2,000 years ago in Egypt, in a city that was itself a symbol of greatness and knowledge. Alexandria was a city founded by Alexander the Great, the capital of wisdom and science, where the great library, the repository of all human knowledge, was located. There, among temples, markets, and palaces, stood the lighthouse, which became a symbol not only of the city, but of the entire ancient world. It was built on the island of Pharos, and so struck the imagination of contemporaries that the name of the island became a household word. Phar, to this day, means lighthouse in many languages. Its light was seen tens of kilometers away. It was said that on a clear night, the reflections of the flame could be seen 100 kilometers from the shore. But imagine how powerful this fire must have been. After all, these were not just torches. Historians suggest that at the top of the lighthouse stood a huge mirror, polished to a shine, which reflected and intensified the light. Some even claim that the mirror could focus the sun's rays and set fire to enemy ships from a distance. Whether this is true or a beautiful legend, we do not know. But you must admit, the idea itself sounds like magic. And yet, what happened next? How did such a miracle disappear? How did one of humanity's most grandiose structures dissolve in time, leaving only scraps of legend and vague memories? The lighthouse, which stood for centuries, witnessed the rise and fall of empires. It saw the Romans, Byzantines, and Arabs come to the shores of Egypt. It illuminated the path of caravans of ships carrying gold, grain, spices, and secret knowledge. But one day its light went out forever. Some chronicles say that earthquakes were to blame, that the elements destroyed the stone vaults time after time until the lighthouse collapsed into the sea. Others claim that enemies dismantled it to use the stone for fortresses. And there are even darker legends, that the lighthouse fell not by accident, but because it kept a secret that could not be shown to the world. Think about it. Why is there almost nothing left? After all, we can see even the ruins of the greatest historical monuments. The columns of the temples of Athens stand, the pyramids of Giza rise, the walls of the Colosseum still look majestically at the world. But the lighthouse disappeared, as if it had never been there. What if it wasn't just a building? What if it was something more? A tool? A portal? A repository of knowledge that was meant to disappear with it? Today we will try to reconstruct this story piece by piece. We will look into ancient chronicles. We will hear the voices of travelers who saw the lighthouse with their own eyes. And we will compare legends to understand what was hidden behind its light. And most importantly, where did he disappear to? The lighthouse on the island of Pharos was built in the 3rd century BC, during the time of Ptolemy II Philadelphus. Its architect was said to be Sostratus. But here's the strange thing. They wanted to hide Sostratus, name at first. They say he carved his name on a stone and covered it with plaster, writing on top, "From King Ptolemy." And only when centuries erased the paint, the real name of the creator was revealed to the world. Why? Maybe because he wanted his descendants to remember him. Or maybe because the lighthouse itself contained more than just the work of an architect. The lighthouse was a three-tiered structure. The first tier was square and massive, like a fortress. The second was octagonal, with windows and balconies. And the third was cylindrical, thin, and aimed upward, toward the sky. A fire burned at the top. But ancient chronicles say this fire was special. Its flame was maintained day and night, and next to it was a giant bronze mirror. It was polished so perfectly that it reflected every ray, turning it into a shining stream of light. Contemporaries claimed ships saw this light from 50 or even 100 kilometers away. Imagine ancient Egypt, night, millions of stars in the sky, and on the horizon, a pillar of light shining like a goalkeeper between the worlds. Doesn't it look like a message from the gods? But here the strange things begin. Some Arabic sources claim that the lighthouse mirror had extraordinary power. It could focus the sun's rays so that ships approaching the shore would catch fire. It sounds like a legend. But isn't it strange that this story is repeated in different chronicles? What if the ancients really knew the secrets of lenses and mirrors that we don't yet understand? It's not for nothing that many researchers call the lighthouse not just a structure, but a technology lost in time. Alexandria was not only a trading city, but also a capital of wisdom. It was home to the Great Library, the repository where scrolls from all over the world were collected. Many believe that the lighthouse and the library were connected. Some claim that the depths of the lighthouse contain secret documents, alchemical texts, and descriptions of ancient technologies. Others said that the lighthouse was a kind of beacon of knowledge, a symbol of the light of reason, which should dispel darkness. It is not surprising that it was considered magical. The Greeks and Romans said that the very presence of a lighthouse changed the space around it. Warriors sailing to Egypt said that, approaching the shore, they felt a strange tremor, as if they were being met not just by fire, but by a living force. There is a legend that there were hidden rooms and secret passages inside the lighthouse. Arab geographers of the 13th century wrote that there were eye-shaped holes in the walls of the lighthouse. Through them, priests could observe the sea. But why? To look out for enemies, or perhaps to conduct rituals and observe the sky? Some texts mention that there were statues of gods and mysterious symbols inside the lighthouse. And perhaps this was the reason for its destruction. If the lighthouse was not just a structure, but a sanctuary of knowledge, then it is not surprising that its fate was so grim. So what happened? Why did the miracle disappear? Chronicles claim that the lighthouse suffered its first blow in 796, when a strong earthquake destroyed part of its walls. Then another one in the 10th century. In the 11th century, an Arab traveler wrote that the lighthouse was already half ruined, but still towered over the sea. And then, in the 14th century, a powerful earthquake finally destroyed the lighthouse. Its stones fell into the water, and in its place, the fortress of Kate was built, which still stands today. But there is another version. Egyptian legends claim that the lighthouse did not disappear because of earthquakes, but was dragged away by the sea, as if the elements themselves, offended by the insolence of people, took it into the depths. Fishermen said that even centuries later, on a clear night, a strange glow can be seen in the water off the coast of Alexandria, as if from a distant fire. In the 20th century, archaeologists actually found giant stone blocks, sphinx statues, and column fragments on the seabed off the coast of Alexandria. Many of them are too big to be just parts of houses. Scientists assume that these are the remains of the lighthouse. But here a new mystery arises. Why are there statues of gods and strange bas-reliefs among these fragments? Why were they in the lighthouse? Wasn't it supposed to be just a tower for light? Or was it a temple, an observatory, a mystical structure? There is another dark legend. It says that the lighthouse was destroyed because people tried to use its power for other purposes. The mirror that reflected the light seemed to become a weapon of war. And when the lighthouse's fire turned against people, Fate punished those who dared to turn light into a weapon. Is that why he disappeared so mysteriously, almost without a trace? Today, a fortress stands on the site of the lighthouse. Tourists walk along its walls, look at the sea, and take pictures against the backdrop of the sunset. But few people know that beneath them, in the depths of the water, lie stone blocks that were once a wonder of the world. And perhaps these depths still hold a secret that humanity should not discover. For if we look too deeply, the light once lit on Pharos may flare up again. But the question is, will it be a light of hope or a flame of destruction? Now let's make the ending of the video. It will be about 5,000 characters long, mysterious, atmospheric, with a call to subscribe, like, and comment. The goal of the ending is to leave a sense of mystery so that viewers want to write their opinion. And now think for yourself. The Lighthouse of Alexandria, a symbol of light and hope, one of the greatest wonders of antiquity, has disappeared without a trace. Its stones fell into the sea, its fire went out, but the legends about it live on. We still don't know the whole truth. Was it just a tower that helped sailors? Or a machine whose secrets humanity lost? Perhaps its mirror hid a power that could change the course of history. Perhaps its walls held knowledge that was too dangerous for humans. Think about it. Why did the lighthouse disappear as if it had never existed? Why is there almost nothing left of it except for debris on the seabed and stories of travelers? Is it all just earthquakes? Or is it something more? Or maybe the lighthouse light hasn't gone anywhere. Maybe it still burns somewhere deep under the water, illuminating secret vaults that we know nothing about. And someday, if we look too hard, that light will break through again. But what will happen then? Will it become a salvation or a curse? The story of the Lighthouse of Alexandria is not only a story of an ancient miracle, but also a story of how little we know about our past. Every stone, every legend, reminds us that what we call myth may be true. Now you tell me, do you believe that the lighthouse was simply an engineering structure? Or was it a mystical artifact that contained timeless powers? Write in the comments what you think. Your opinion may be the key to the solution. If you like this story, support our channel. Like and subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss new videos. After all, there are even more secrets, legends, and mysteries of history ahead of us. And remember, the past holds more secrets than we can imagine. And sometimes the brightest lights are found in the darkest places.